Greetings, all our community. Another edition of the Buy, Hold, Sell podcast. Joined by Dor and Macca.
How are we, boys? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's bloody good to be back.
Is it ever?
Dor literally just did a podcast like an hour ago. Change of setup.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Mikey likey, Dor likey, Macca
I
likey.
do like it. It's very good.
Yes.
Now, boys, we better hone in on our fantasy teams. We haven't really discussed it so far this year, our own personal teams. How are we looking?
Yeah, look, could be better.
Dot, dot, dot.
9-14 I got last week, but I captained King Nico. Wow, what a special player. But apart from that, the rest of the team is going very, very average.
It's good.
Yeah, look, my team is absolutely shocking at the moment, but a few smart trades and I'll be right back where I need to be.
It's a long season.
That's exactly right.
I actually raised the question because I got a little 1,050 piece.
Very special, brother.
Flex. No, I had a good outing.
What were some highlights besides Nico captain?
I held on to Cam Murray, which I thought was smart. He got me a little 70.
Yeah.
Just a bit of consistency around the board. Bought Walsh. Yeah.
You still got McInnes?
Yeah, I still got McInnes as well. Saw some people
with
sold him,
news.
which
tough.
I didn't necessarily agree with. Now we better get into I wouldn't say this is the buys. I'd say this is players that should be discussed, and we'll give our opinions. People looking to buy these people. Maybe we don't agree. So first things first, get Nico Hines and captain him. Simple as
Yes.
that.
Get Nico Hines, captain him.
It's
and
really
don't
quite
captain
simple.
off.
He's your first trade in.
A positive cocaine test result, Mick.
Yeah,
Led to positive fantasy results for Nico.
I was about to
Really
say
special.
Trindle test positive, and it was positive for Nico owners. It was quite special to watch, really.
Very special.
It was vintage Nico from a couple of years ago, which was dropping centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Daily
a lot.
M year,
Yeah.
Nico.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, 'cause he's just dominating the ball. Like, he's popping up on both sides. Like, and Atco, who I think we'll talk about later, just did his job. Like, just ran the ball when he got it.
Love to see that.
Which
Love
is-
to see
yeah.
that.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, as a as a fantasy player, that's all you want. Your
Let
players just
greasy
dominate
hair guy eat.
the field. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
All right, we better go back to the cheapies. We talked about these two last week. I think generally last week we said for the cheapies, probably a wait and see. It's really hard to gauge who'll be the best. But I think Armstrong was the most impressive with 50 on debut, 267k, made 37k in cash rises. What do you reckon?
Oh, I'll go first. Sorry,
I'll go
Macca. Look, I think Barry, our expert,
Bazatui
journo-
was wrong.
Yeah, Bazatui
Led us
said
astray.
as long as Armstrong keeps playing well, he'll keep the spot. Fletcher Sharp or Will Price isn't going to bother him at all. And what I saw on the weekend was he was really busy, passed the eye test, and definitely added something to a Knights team that I thought might lack a bit of spark with Ponga out. And I thought he stood up incredibly. I'm getting him in this week.
Yeah, all you can ask for in a young fullback is involvement. Come in, take runs. Follow the ball. Pass well if you can, and I think he passed that eye test. So I'm getting him this week.
Break even -5 as
A
well.
lot of boxes ticked.
I'd almost say he touched the ball more off a Hastings and Gamble pass than Ponga would, which is
which is very interesting. It's almost like Hastings
concerning.
and Gamble just like jealous of Ponga or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's a bit strange, but yeah, jump on Armstrong.
Yeah.
The next guy, 278k weeks. Really impressed, I thought, in a woeful Raiders side. Break even to 3. I think he's definitely another good option.
Yeah, I wasn't that high on weeks coming in. To be honest, this weekend was probably the first time I properly watched him. I thought he went pretty well. So, not buying personally, but he's still a good buy.
Yeah, I think I was surprised that Strange, out of the two halves, was not getting like the usage I expected. Weeks sort of dominated, to be honest, like taking the kicking.
Yeah, Weeks had 423
Well,
kick
go.
meters and 20. I think he also made 26 tackles as well.
Obviously,
Obviously missed a couple, which would have, if he obviously didn't, would have helped his score.
Yep.
But
I think what happened is Ricky probably told Strange just to do what he was doing with Foggy, run the ball,
Yeah.
be more of an attacking with his runs half. So I guess he's just trying to keep that consistent play. So when Foggy does come back eventually, he's not playing any differently to how he was before then.
He had 6 missed tackles, Strange, so that really did hurt his
does hurt, but,
individual
like,
performance.
He-
They obviously lost 40-0
Yeah,
as well. They've
exactly.
lost back-to-back big
Yeah.
big scores.
And the most appealing thing is like his base with the kick meters and with making that many tackles. That's what you're looking for in a cheapie. So he should be consistent.
Yeah. Do we want to mention Adco Mick there as
Yeah,
well?
we talked about Acco before. I know the Sharks dominated, but I think Atco in future can definitely get a bit more attacking stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he grows in confidence. We've obviously we've been watching him for years. Eye test passed.
Yeah. Eye test
Yeah.
and aura test. Class of flying colours.
Jeez, the Sharks got a lot of aura guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one run, I think, where he almost scored or came close because he busted a couple tackles. So if the Sharks keep playing well, he's going to get a lot of open opportunities because of the attention that his teammates get.
Yeah.
So
Break even of 13 as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Not as good as maybe the last two options, but they've got a good couple of games. They got the Dragons this weekend. Storm's going to be a bit of a tough one week after, but still, Atco can definitely make you some money.
I like his ceiling actually. I think he can bust out a couple really good scores.
Yeah.
So basically, we'd prefer Armstrong and Weeks, I'd say, this week. But, I mean, going by cheapies, Atco's not far behind at all.
I'd probably go Armstrong definitely one.
Yeah.
Because the other thing with Weeks to note is that the Raiders have the bye next week.
That is true.
So you could potentially, if you wanted to, wait 1 week with Weeks and then get him the week in a couple of weeks after.
Wait 1 week with Weeks, then next week get Weeks.
No pun
That's it.
intended.
You could trade out Strange next week and get in good old KO Weeks.
Now, next guy, we're going into cheapies that we're not the biggest fans of, at least this week. Vallejo from the Cowboys, taken over from Tommy Chester. Unfortunate injury. I'm just going to say a wait and see.
Wait and see job, I agree.
Yeah, I don't even think it's a wait and see job personally.
Just
think
avoid.
it's I think it's just a straight avoid.
Just never get it.
Last year he averaged, I think, 26 when he played 80 minutes. Bit of upside. He got a 61 in there, but
I just think unless he sets the world on fire, they're going to go straight back to Chester when he
he's
gets back
360k
from
as
injury.
well.
Yeah,
Chester's only out 3 weeks, maybe?
3 to 4 weeks. Yeah.
So
I just think I think there's better options. The 3 options we said before, I think, are a better option. Also cheaper than Bailea. So
another guy is Cheekam. I reckon almost every second year, Cheekam gets the starting gig.
yeah, and people jump on
for a bit.
People
He's going to be a
jump on.
slow burn for you.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say.
yeah. I'd avoid Cheekham like the plague.
yeah, no, I cannot go Cheekham at all.
And
No.
he's got an injury in him as well.
You've also got to think as well that I think Host and Cheekham now are second rowers at the moment with Keon Kulamatungi at prop. So that's not going to last surely. Like I was saying in the TLT podcast, you can't keep someone of a premium quality of Keon Kulamatungi at prop when he's a gun second rower.
That downfall needs to be studied so far this year.
Oh well, yeah, JD's going to be gone any hour now. Hopefully.
Funny story about Cheekham is the guy's 32. It was I think early in the season. Was it Mick Ennis or Blocker goes? People like Cheekham were growing up wanting to play with people like Latrell Mitchell. And I was like, mate, he's 6 years old.
Yeah, mate, he's been around for fucking ages.
I think let's get into the more serious sort of options of buys this week.
This is where you pay attention. Jaden Brayley, 490k, breaking with 17. I'm just going to say it. I don't want to talk about injuries a lot, and you can't predict injuries, but he's burnt me too many times in the past with that unfortunate injury.
Yeah, injuries are sadly a reality of the game, and some players like Brayley are more inclined to get injured, sadly. That being said, though, he went pretty well on the weekend, I thought. 80 minutes.
42 and 80 minutes in round 7, and then last week 54 and 80 minutes. He's also, I'm pretty sure, got the captaincy now, so he'll basically, I think, play 80 minutes unless he gets injured. So I think he's a great buy. It's just, as you both alluded to, it's just something you got to look out with the injuries. But you can't, you can say that you can be really elite and predict injuries, but you really can't.
I like to think I can predict an injury.
Yeah. But look, if you want to get Jaden Brayley, especially with the hooker position not being that great this year thus far, I think he's a good option at that price.
Yeah, I do think he'll score well for you.
Yeah.
Just that concern, obviously. The next
My
one,
man.
I'm going to say 0 concerns, especially for Dor. He likes my man Fuller, 513k, break even to 1. One of the more impressive first 2 games of the season I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, are we just thinking just get him in, or are we a bit concerned about Hammer coming back relatively soon? What do you think, Dor?
Look, 513k.
Look at him smile.
Yeah.
60,
He's giddy talking about him.
68 points last week. No try. And then he got 57 the week before against Parramatta. The Hammers out for the next 3 weeks, the Dolphins said yesterday.
Mhm.
And then Origins in 5 weeks. So he's
longer,
so he could be back for, say, 1 week. Fuller could easily, I don't think, the Dolphins could take a cautious approach as well with Hammer, considering he's coming back from a hamstring injury, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So, yeah, I really like it. Break even of 1 this week. Some really good matchups coming up.
He's slimy. He's got grease on his skin or something.
He's like
How
prime
many
Teddy.
tackle bucks did he get?
Oh, I've just got,
10.
he got something good, but
He's hard to put down.
10. He had 10 on the weekend and 7 the week before.
And he also got, I don't think he got a try assist or a try or anything.
No,
I think he just had line breaks
just all
last week. 3
and
line
tackle
breaks
busts,
last
so
week.
runs. So it's exactly what you want to see from someone like that.
I got a real love with small fullbacks. Like I
Fuller.
love Gray. I love Fuller.
Did you like Matt Duffy?
And
Bevan French?
Matty Duff.
I hope he's going well over in the Super League, but I was not a fan of Matt Duffy.
Jai Field.
Yeah,
She was a
Field.
half.
He's actually going all right over there
Yeah, so
at
is
Super
Bevan
League as
French.
well.
Bevan French.
Yeah, Bevan French. Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
next guy, same team, Plath. Like the
Oh,
base was
Plath.
so impressive.
I really-
Minutes, consistent.
I really like Plath. I think he's a goer.
Mhm.
He makes so many tackles without missing many. I think that's such a good positive sign.
47 tackles on the weekend.
So I think in this Dolphins side, locked into the minutes now with Flegler out for 3-4 weeks more.
Yeah, 3-4 weeks. Yep.
So I think he's a fantastic buy. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, he's basically playing the Tommy Gilbert role. Like
Yep.
lock, just high base.
Yeah.
I don't think, like Flegler's not back for a while.
A month. Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any risk where like his minutes diminish.
You should get 60 minutes, I reckon, every week. You
Mm.
got 66 on the weekend, 71 the week before, and would have got something similar against the Titans when he played in round 4, but then obviously had the hip drop.
Yeah, suspension. He also scores tries. So
Yeah, 2 tries against the
You
Eels.
combine his base with hopefully a try or 2 or line breaks. Jeez,
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Yep.
Could be anything, yes.
I'd say the next guy, Ruben Garrick, one who's, he's been consistent in the past. He's bottomed out.
Yeah.
And we saw that.
I was going to say, I was hoping it was a bigger bottom out. But
Special member of the podcast. He loves a pod. Tommy Flatley said, fuck it. I see 80 break even, but I'm getting him.
Yeah.
And what did he get? 90?
83.
83. So
Break even of 30 now this week. So,
He's
yeah.
seen-
he's a
seen
great
them-
option.
He's seen them well at the moment, plus. Seen them very well.
Yes.
He's seen him well. He could have had one of the all-time great weeks.
Didn't captain
But
Nico.
then he doesn't have Nico. So
Oh, he doesn't have him. Ooh.
that's unfortunate.
Ouch.
They got good matchups. The next couple of weeks. The Eagles. They've got Raiders and then Dolphins,
Mhm.
and then a couple of toughies against Broncos and Storm. But still, like if you're buying this week against the Raiders, it's pretty good at home as well.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to point out, Garrick, is the fact that Olakau'atu's out for 2 weeks on his edge, and DCE might be out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's
that's
true.
probably happening right now.
Yeah, I think DCE might get off because it's DCE. But yeah, it's just something to consider because Olakau'atu obviously, his lines and he's such a damaging runner that draws in the defense, so it might affect Garrick's scores. But
Yeah.
that's just one thing.
A comparison definitely should be made for listeners. I know they're going to ask Fuller or Garrick. I know Garrick's a centre. Who would we prefer out of those two for this week as a buy?
For this week, I reckon Fuller, just way lower
Yeah.
break even, a little bit cheaper. And just the upside.
You can't go wrong with both, but my general thoughts are you're getting a fullback who on the weekend scored 69 without any tries. Like Garrick got a double, I think.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And as you
Yep.
said, that break even.
Yeah. I think Fuller for me.
Yep, sweet. We'll move on to the next guy.
Jumper Jolliffe.
Jumping Jolliffe.
This one said to me at the start of the
Oh.
season, this guy be a gun
Yeah.
and a consistent gun, might I add.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about him
Older
and Puck
Pinocchio.
last week.
Yeah, shout out to Jumpin' Jolliffe. I've never once considered him in a
With respect.
with respect. Oh, with all due respect, in a fantasy sense, but I absolutely.
I didn't
am
think
now.
for a second he'd be a buy at the start of
No.
the season.
I think it's with the injury with the unfortunate injury to
Tino,
Tino,
yeah.
and then now Dez has just gone Jolliffe, you're my
Yeah,
man,
and
and
he's-
now
He's
he's
good.
playing.
Yeah.
He's playing 60 minutes, getting through a decent amount of work,
Yeah.
fair bit of work for a prop.
I don't want to harp on him too much. We did talk about him last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good option.
He
Undervalued as well.
Yeah, he definitely did us saying bye last week. No disservice at all.
Same team. For feeder. This guy is an
The
animal.
meter eater.
He's averaging 62, I think.
He's-
I don't think he's played 80 yet,
no.
No,
which is
I don't know
beyond
if he will.
confusing. Like, how much match fitness does this guy need?
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of working. But
It is working.
Yeah.
Geez, he's. We used to criticize Fafita a bit in the past, just for low work rate sort of things. But in my opinion, he's the best half or fullback player in the NRL.
Wow.
I'm happy to make that call.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
mind
I
that.
love Fafita.
I'm thinking Haas there. But,
No,
yeah, in terms of fantasy, like, I know Origin's coming up, but I think his value is too strong, especially this year, considering he's in 1% of teams.
yeah, the pod option, yeah,
The fact that he's a pod is enticing.
indeed.
Yeah, well, he's going to play, looks like that, 55 to 65 minute role every week.
Yeah.
And he's got, 50 every week, apart from last week where he got 91.
Yeah.
Which was the breakout game.
Exactly.
So, yeah, look, I love it. I as like Macca was saying before, I think we always wanted Fafita to play 80, but under Dez in this role, he's just seeming to get through a heap of work.
When he picks it up from dummy half, wow. You just
Yeah,
notice
he's
racking
done
up
that
points.
way more than I've
Yeah.
seen in previous seasons, and I really like it. You know what you're going to get? You're going to get a 50 point at the bare minimum every week.
We have enough sample size from him on the bench now where the doubt should be alleviated. Like we've seen him come off the bench and still rack up the good scores. So I don't think that's as much as an issue as it was before.
Yeah.
Nah.
We spoke about Origin. This guy, cheaper. He's a mid. He's not playing Origin. AFB, I think he's great option.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's not much to say other than he's just a great forward.
Probably one of the better try scoring
I
props
was
as
about
well.
to say he scored so many tries, so that's such a
2
such
tries
a bonus
last
for someone
week.
who already gets through so much work.
And last guy we got in the buy list, Dylan Edwards, does play the buy, I believe.
Yeah.
I'd be slightly concerned he might play Origin as well. I'm not 100%.
Yeah. I'm not
Consider
sure
that.
on that as well. He's definitely.
It's just one to look at, I guess. Like that's only the only concern there with Deadwoods is the playing Origin.
Bye, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he plays the bye, so I guess the only thing is if he obviously gets picked for,
Yeah.
then that's with AFB. The issue is he doesn't play the round 13
Yeah,
bye.
exactly.
But a lot of people play just head to head, so they're not too
Yeah,
worried about
that's true.
the the bye rounds and whatnot. Like that's the same with Fafita. If you're not worried about bloody Origin or anything, you don't play the bye rounds.
Yep.
You're getting Fafita every day of the week. But obviously, my concern is with Fafita is just, and these other guys, is obviously just because they're playing Origin.
Yeah.
I don't really want to get someone in because I play overall. I don't really want to get someone in that's not going to play.
Right, we'll move on to the holds. Like with the buys, that's where we're going to go into a lot of detail. So we'll probably go through these not as in detail. Now,
Fly through 'em.
These guys, when we say holds, I think they can be sold. But we think within the next couple of weeks you can sort of hold. They're not imminent.
Yeah.
That's Salmon.
Yeah. The concern with Salmon was Preston back on the extended bench, and Salmon has really gone well. He was probably a sell or close to a sell a couple of weeks ago.
He finds a way.
Yeah, when he,
But
when
then
he
he
moved to the edge,
then Preston got injured and he moved to the edge, and he's gone he's got 40 or 50 scores in that period. So I feel like if Preston comes back onto the edge, Salmon goes back into the middle. You take that score, which I reckon it'll probably be this could probably be his last week, I reckon,
Yeah.
because I think if Preston's not back this week,
Next week.
he'll be
As
back next
as
week.
Bentley said, you can do a lot of trades with Salmon, but one fish to another. I like Brimson. Get him in.
Brimson.
The Brim,
Yeah, the Brimmy.
the Brim.
Or get your Bateman.
Yeah,
Get him
the
in.
Bateman. Yeah, he was special last week. We did mention him as well
Yep.
on a heater.
He's on a heater. Cotter is the next guy. Origin, obviously. He's just an obvious one, I think. Like,
I think
It's
you
a
just
luxury.
hold him up until Origin,
Yeah,
I reckon,
it's
and
a
then just
luxury.
depart
It's
him.
real
I'd say
luxury,
I'd say
Cotter.
the same for KPP. Down week. But
Yeah, just one.
like,
Just
I
one
just
down
think it's a
week.
down
I-
week,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Like, when he was running, he's just trying to go for silly offloads.
Yeah, it's
That'll
so,
fix.
so many errors. It's ridiculous.
He just looked, I don't know, like a bit tired or something
Mm.
last week. He just wasn't his
Yeah,
usual
sleep
self.
apnea.
Yeah, must be that.
Potentially.
Um,
Fino Fukuyaki,
Fukuyaki, I'd say,
this is depressing.
Lukey's on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah,
your guy.
yeah.
Never
'Cause
again. That's
it-
all I'm going to say with Lukey. Never again.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, no, I'm more just upset about Fino Fukuyaki. I wish Lukey could stay
yeah.
away
Well,
a
he's
few
been
more
playing-
weeks because
he's
he,
played better recently.
he actually had his best game performance on the weekend, and then you get greeted by this with the
I'd-
break
I'd
even
say a
of
couple
10
of
that
weeks.
Lukey's back.
A couple of weeks, ideally, but this may be the last week.
You're probably keeping him, but you're not going to play him, I don't think, in your 17 because he's going to go back to probably that 60-minute role. And then I'd probably say the next 2 weeks he'll play like 60. And then when it comes around, well, to be honest, that's actually a thing that I just thought of. You could definitely hold him because Nano could play Origin. So he could benefit
Good point.
in that period because the Cowboys play that first bye round in round 13.
Good point, Door.
Yeah, Nano was
so-
a lot better on the weekend as well. I thought so.
Yeah.
I,
He definitely was.
I'd
yeah.
say there's a strong chance, if not almost a guarantee, that Nano's in there somewhere.
I think it's gone back to Nanai for feeder for me,
Yeah.
second rowers,
I
and then
agree with
Sewer
that.
on the bench.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Door.
Yep.
Jeez.
Well, this is a luxury one.
Turbo, like, mate, how many times do we have to hype him up as a all-out
He's-
admin
He's a bit of a
just to disappoint?
he's a bit of a mystery man these days.
Mate, every time he runs the ball, I'm like, bro, he literally looks scared.
Yeah, he's.
I hate to say that, but he looked unenthused
He's-
on the weekend.
He's not running the ball like he used to because I think he's a bit afraid of getting injured, which is understandable.
I get it.
He still has the attacking upside, obviously, with his hands and his support play, but he's not having 20 runs a game, running like a front row like he used to.
Yeah, as I
Yeah.
said, luxury.
They got 2 good matchups as
Yeah.
well. They got like Dolphins next week and Raiders this week.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Turbo, look, he's not getting really that many attacking stats.
He's
I'm still pretty sure he's second behind Deadwoods for total run meters
Yeah,
exactly,
this
that's
year.
true.
So
I think our standards for Turbo are just so high
Yeah.
that
We witnessed the greatest season ever. So.
he's-
well, he was averaging
Yeah.
that like 100
Mm.
super coach points or whatever.
I think it was like 100.
the
I think it was
season.
like 120 people play Supercoach.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not going bad. I think it's just you can tell there's a slight difference. From,
Lesson
Yeah.
learnt at least. Don't captain him regardless.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
matchup.
Yeah,
I agree.
no.
Yeah.
No,
And
we captained him for whatever those weeks, and he still did all right, but
Mm.
nothing amazing.
This is actually an interesting one. I'm not completely sold. Ola Kawatu, 2 weeks suspended, will play Origin in my opinion.
He should play Origin. He's the best second rower from New
Yeah,
South Wales
definitely.
in on form at the moment.
I'd hold because he's going to be a gun the whole year, but it's tough.
It's when he comes back, I think he plays the Broncos, which is not the best matchup. But yeah, I think 2 weeks. I think you probably should hold him.
Yeah, I think it's again just back to that same question as what your situation is. If you play head to head, I'd keep him. But if you're playing overall, you probably look to get rid of him because he's going to play. I'd say, in my opinion, he definitely should be playing Origin. Then got the 2 weeks off for that tackle on the weekend. So yeah,
I'm happy as a Waddell owner.
yeah,
Job security's there.
a little bit
Last
more
guy, this is probably just from TLT.
futuristic. Yeah,
Like, I know they got a buy, Blaze Tulagi. But there are reports, obviously, with Gutho's surgery to his knee, that he might get that fullback spot. So if you own
Yeah.
him, don't sell him.
Definitely.
Just sit
Yeah.
on him as well.
Just sit
See
him.
what happens.
the only other player that could take that spot is Arcee. But you're better off just holding him because then you could get him for like a month at fullback, which would be unreal.
Yeah.
So definitely hold for this week. Sell next week if he's not named at fullback.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like a few of those guys were sort of torn between sell and hold, but this guy, I seriously don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Ethan Strange does play by round 13.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Plays the first
I
bye.
get holding,
Mm.
but he does have a bye next week. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Me personally, I reckon I'm just going to hold for 1 week. I think I've got too many other fires personally to deal with that I'm
Everyone's
going to
teams are in
hold.
disarray.
Yeah, I'm just going to hold Strange this week. And then if he craps the bet again this week, I'll probably going to get rid of him next week when he's on the bye. Move him to I don't know, one of the other cheapies.
He can't be much worse than he was last week, I'm hoping.
Yeah, well, 6 missed tackles. I don't think he'll do that again this weekend, hopefully. Touch wood.
I think the Raiders in general will be a lot better. That was
Yep.
diabolical.
Yeah, Whitehead's back,
Whitehead's
so they got a couple of
bodies in there. So I'm hoping
and
they'll
sort of
be
put
better.
on notice as well. I
Yeah.
think that with the Schiller and Chevy Stewart, Chevy Stewart was one of their better players on the weekend. Obviously had a shocker against the Broncos, but I think it just puts everyone on notice.
Yeah.
So that I think there will be a bounce back from the Raiders this week.
And finally, onto the sells. These guys were very confident on, especially the first guy. 15 points in the weekend. Danny Levi, see a brass. He can go. I've seen enough.
He
He bombed that try.
Yeah, the try scorer. If there's no
Did
try
he get
scorer,
picked
there's no
on ad?
Danny Levi.
Is he still starting?
I think so. I actually can't confirm that. But
You speak about Levi
But,
while
mate,
I'll look
seriously,
into
I
it.
got many things to say, but if you're a hooker and you're scoring tries, I just don't understand how you
Face is horrible.
Yeah, it's scoring. He's getting 30 points with a try.
It's almost like he avoids the tackle. Like he'll see two people come in, and then he'll just be like, I'll just hand over. It's like, mate, your job as a hooker is to shore up the middle.
He's anti-stat patter.
Yeah,
I can confirm, gents, he is starting.
Interesting. Maybe he's got the best service in the NRL, and we just haven't realised.
Oh, he must have a fucking
Maybe.
gun service because
Maybe.
All right, another Raiders guy, 278k, Chevy Stewart, break even to 3. Very unfortunate, but he's going to have to go.
It's a shame because he was looking better, but you have to sell him now. Yeah.
Geez, another Raiders guy. I'm surprised they dropped him. Maybe his defense is poor with Schiller.
Yeah, Schiller.
He's
that's
also signed elsewhere for next year. Maybe that's
Newcastle.
Maybe that's come into factor because I didn't think he was that bad, but
I thought he was pretty good.
I guess they did have to drop someone.
This guy it's going to be emotional talking about it. Terrell May. Look, there's only one man to blame. Initials are TR. Yeah, thanks, buddy. You really cooked us here. But, I 100% sell.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Like, if you hold, you're basically wishing Trent sees the light.
You're basically wishing that something has to happen to Rhea Hargreaves.
But he's
Collins is
cash.
always
70 break even.
Yeah.
The only thing I think of is they're versing Broncos, I think, this week.
Yeah, this week.
Maybe it's a close game. Maybe it's a game where
Yep.
everyone gets tired and Robbo's like, maybe I should play my gun front rower more than 20 minutes a game. Maybe.
I think May will either get 60 because Robinson's like, shit, what the hell have I been doing? Or he'll get another 20 points.
Yeah. So it's such a risk holding him. I think it's too risky. I think you have to sell him. Honest.
Yeah, it's too risky for me. Like, Rhea Hargreaves is getting too many minutes, in my opinion, considering he is as well. Like, he's leaving to the Super League at the end of this season, fair age veteran.
Yeah.
I just feel like he should be on a smaller stint. Nafu White also hasn't been helping.
Yeah.
And then also the other thing, which for me puts the nail in the coffin, is Spencer Lenu is back very soon.
Yeah.
So for me, he's got it. Like, May's got to go because Lenu's back. I'm pretty sure next week or the week after. So
this guy, I feel sorry for people who've held you two. Flegler.
Yeah, don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, no.
It's just one of those injuries where you're like, next week will be the week. Like, surely next week, and then it just keeps going until it's been 8 weeks. And you're like, well.
Yeah. And Appy.
Oh, wait, just quickly. My story with Flegler is very, very sad. I got Flegler in, traded out Smithies. I was there at the game. Was on a real high after Flegler's first stint. Seeing 30 points in around 30 minutes, I was just loving life.
You had a hammer
and then
as well that game.
First hit up, I'm pretty sure, or tackle after he come back on his second stint. He just cooked his shoulder and went he was trying to stay out there. I'm pretty sure he stayed out there for another 10 minutes, but barely got through anything. You could just see he was in discomfort.
Worst part about that is Flegg was doing start of the season so well. getting through work, scoring tries even. Like,
You
it's
weren't
such a
rewarded for
shame.
good logic.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Michael.
Yeah. The worst thing is just we thought he was going to be back. Like, he actually got named a couple of weeks ago, and then they ruled him out late.
Now he's got nerve
And then
damage.
he's just, he hasn't been named the next 2 weeks, and then now he's out for 4 weeks with nerve damage.
Speaking of nerve damage, I think Appy is also...
He's also caused me
he's got-
nerve damage as well.
He's got... Didn't he get to cook his back?
Yeah,
nerve?
but I think,
He's named to play this weekend, but yeah,
I'd still sell.
yeah,
he's
back
It's
spasms.
not just his back. I think I
Corked
swear
back.
he's had niggles and little issues all year.
Well, that same game in the warm-ups, I think did
Yeah,
something
the
to his
calf,
quad or
yeah.
something or calf. Yeah,
Shame because again, Appy was looking good as well early season, but I'm not to sell him now.
yeah, maybe to someone like Marshall King.
I honestly think this segment might just be the quickest possible. Who to captain, boys, this week? Bit of discussion, I guess. I personally am thinking about one guy. Greasy hair.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
To be devil's advocate, Cleary isn't the worst second. Like the fact that
Oh, yeah.
the fact that Cleary's like, because Cleary's usually like the number one guy people captain, they never take it off him.
Mhm.
Like I wouldn't blame someone for captain Cleary against.
They got a good matchup as well
Definitely
this week.
thinking about it.
But it'll be extremely hard to take it off Nico when he's in this sort of form.
He could be creating all-out history this week, Nico Hines, if he gets the Player of the Week again. I'm not sure I've done 3 templates in a row for MVPs back-to-back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, like 96 average against
Red V,
our Red
yeah.
V. We were hapless.
Yeah,
Especially through the middle. Like,
yeah. I mean, mate. I think the Dragons will be better, but I don't think it's enough to stop.
I've given up.
I think it's very.
Oh, that would be better.
Yeah.
They're just a bit
Other.
inconsistent.
They have one of the best wins we've seen in the last 3 years, and they put that out.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're still trying to get rid of the no disrespect, sorry Aggers, but the Hook Griffin
Captain
and
Hook.
Yeah.
the Captain Hook, and like previous coaches get those tendencies out. I think they've definitely got the right man the job. I just think
100%.
that on the performance, like us three were both at the Dolphins Dragons game. And Macca was obviously at the one on the weekend. Like we've obviously seen, and they've probably been their 2 worst performances.
Yeah, every
of the
game I
year.
go to, they get fucking flogged.
So I'm just saying that I think that's like one of those performances that will happen every once in a while, but I don't think it's something bad.
Yeah, boys, we're going to talk about the buy round schedule, but we might just do that as a little clip at the end. I think that's a smart idea because the podcast has been going for a while.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I think so.
Because it's definitely something you got to start thinking about overall players.
Yeah,
especially.
It's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, not too far away.
Apart from that, thanks for listening.
See you next week.
Or watching
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, watching.
Thanks.
Listening. Yeah.
I
See
hope
you
you
next
appreciate the new lighting.
Really, really worked hard on this
Yeah.
one. So,
Yeah.
We're increased from like a 5 to like a 7, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, and then also the new setup. Obviously we are in a new setup,
Cameras.
but new mics and everything like that. So the quality and whatnot, we apologize, but obviously that's going to be a thing of the past in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. See you then. See you next week.
Peace out.